Hello everyone, welcome back to Ansarkari. So today we are starting off with the next set of CSAT paper from 2018. So we are starting off from 2018 CSAT paper. So first few questions, this is asking us about the number of triangles that can be identified. So it should be 20. You need to count the ones which are clearly visible in the front and the ones which have been represented through these dotted lines. So it would be 20 in number.
Option B.
Here we have to identify what does this dot represent. So you can just simply put these options in the dot and you can check whether this is being valid or not. So it would be valid in case of 8.
Option D.
Here also we have to identify the missing out number. So you have to identify the pattern here. It would be 8 minus 6 plus 4 will give us 6. Similarly, 13 minus 4 would be 13 minus 4 would be 9. 9 plus 8 would be 17. So 17 should be the right answer.
A. Option A.
Okay, then question number 4. So it is asking us how many diagonals can be drawn by joining the vertices of an octagon. So octagon, it means that the figure will have 8 sides. So that's how you can draw an octagon. If you count the number of sides, it would be 8. You have to join them and you can then identify the number. So it would be 20.
Option A.
In fifth, we are given with this graph. So this line OKP is representing velocity of vehicle A. This is for vehicle B. We have to calculate the ratio of the distance covered by them. So the distance covered also we are given with this, that PD is equal to half of DL. So we have to calculate the ratio, the distance covered by each of the vehicle. So in this case, distance would be given by the area of this, because it is asking to calculate in time period OL. And distance covered by vehicle B would be the area of this rectangle. So for A, it would be the area of this triangle, which is half into base into height. So if you calculate it using the symbols and the information that is given, because here PL can be written as half of DL. So we are left with only one variable. We'll get 3 by 2 DL. So calculate for A, distance covered for B would be the area of the rectangle, and then you put it in the ratio, you'll get 3:4. So option C.
Option C.
Okay, now a train 200 meters long is moving at the rate of 40 kilometer per hour. So you need to take into account the units which are given. It is in meters, this is in kilometer. In how many seconds will it cross a man standing near the railway line? So we are given with speed, distance will take it as 200 meters, which is the length of the train. Convert it into, either you can initially convert this into kilometers, or you can convert the speed into meters. Calculate the time taken. I calculated that in hours and then converted it into seconds, because it is asking us in seconds. So it should be 18 seconds. Option D.
Option D.
Fine. Moving to question number 7. So we have passages now. So most logical rational inference should be prosperity of agriculture sector is of critical importance to India.
Option A.
Okay, then question number 8. Again, the most logical corollary that can be drawn from this passage. With more options for the food come more risks. This should be the passage number 3. Now here, again, most logical and rational inference. So science and faith can be mutually complementary if their proper domains they are understood.
Option B.
Passage number 4, the author wants India to rid herself of certain past bonds because they obstruct her physical and spiritual growth.
Option D.
Now, question number 11, we have again a graph and 3 questions on the data. So question number 11 is asking us to check that by how much did the import of sheet steel exceed the import of coil steel in the first 3 months. So you have to stick to first 3 months, calculate the total value of imports for sheet steel and the coil steel separately, and then you have to subtract. So because it is asking it, but by how much amount is it exceeding? So for sheet you'll get 113, for coil you'll get 94. You just have to, you can see that entire data is given. So for sheet, this is the bar diagram. So it is 40 plus 37 plus 36 will give us 113. Likewise, go for coil steel. Difference would be 19. So option C.
Option C.
The next is, what was the approximate total value of the sheet steel imported over the 6th month period? So we have to calculate for the entire time period in the values. So for sheet steel, you will calculate all the values for the 6 months period, and the average is given here, which is $256. So you multiply this average value with the total amount imported, that would be 217. So you'll get it as the value which is given in C, 55,550.
Option C.
13 is again on its basis. So what was the approximate ratio of the sheet steel and the scrap steel imports in the first 3 months? Again, so you just have to calculate the ratio. First, calculate the value for first 3 months for sheet and the coil one, and put it in ratio. It would be 113 is to 98. So it should be 1 is to 1, because when you divide this directly, the number 113 with 98, it would turn out to be somewhere 1.1, but that is not given as option. 1.2 would be invalid, so I went with 1 is to 1.
Option B.
It is giving B, but again the value was exceeding, so we'll recheck this again. Now, question number 14. So we are given with these figures and we have to identify again the symbols. So 14th question is asking, what is the symbol on the face opposite to that containing a single dot? So if you again just visualize and see what would be the most appropriate one. So it should be 3 dots opposite to this face of 1 dot.
Option B.
Then what is the symbol on the face opposite to that containing 2 dots? So for 2 dots, it would be 3 dots, the opposite one. Option B.
Option C.
Option C or B for 15th question.
C. C. Option
Four,
C.
4 dots. Opposite 2 dots. So 2 dots के opposite. It should be 3 dots ही होना चाहिए. अच्छा 3 तो already we have here. ठीक है, यहाँ 4 होगा. 4 dots would be there. And what's the symbol on the face opposite to that containing the cross? So it would be line.
Option C.
Now again, passage. So this is quite lengthier on its basis. To guess that, according to it, which of the following the paramount importance under the right to education? So it should be, again, you can refer back to the passage, because we have to answer it according to what has been stated in the passage. So I felt that it is only 3 option which is clearly visible. So I went with option C.
Option C.
Then you have to guess the assumption out of these 3. So only 3 is the most valid one which I found. It should be option A or C for 18th.
18th के लिए A. Option A.
The right to education guarantees teachers. So guarantees कैसे करते हैं, बात यही है ना, इसलिए मैंने इसको नहीं किया, क्योंकि वो गारंटी नहीं कर रहा है, बात की जा रही है इन द पैसेज की टीचर अकाउंटेबिलिटी एक इम्पोर्टेंट एलिमेंट है. But right to education guarantees teachers accountability for the learning process of children. Okay, 19th May. The following is critical in bringing quality in the education. So inculcating learning through activities and discovery.
Option D.
Then essential message of the passage. So right to free and compulsory education should also include quality education for all.
Option C.
21 is again based on coding. So we are given with this code for the word Mumbai and we have to get it for Delhi. So you can write the sequence likewise up till M and then in reverse manner, you will write it up till Z. So you need to just ensure that M and N, they are positioned at these places. Now, if you just have a look for Mumbai, that M is being coded as L. So one reverse position for M. Then U, in case of U, you will see W. In case of U, it is S. So again, you have to go back reverse. Now you see a gap of one position. In case of M, again, now you'll see a gap of two positions, which would be J. So likewise, now you have identified how it has been coded, what is the pattern, so we can get it for Delhi. So for example, D will go one position reverse, it would be C. Then for E, we'll skip, we'll have a gap of one, and then again, we will have C again. For L, you can say we'll keep a gap of two now, so it would be I. So likewise, the option would be A.
Option A.
Now we are given in numbers. So Raman is written as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dinesh is written as this. So you can just simply write the numbers against these alphabetical alphabets against here. So like R is 1. So you just put these number at these places accordingly, because we are given with for two words. Now we have all the numbers against these letters, so you just have to place them. Like for H, it would be 9. A, it would be 2. So just place it. This would be the sequence.
Option B.
Okay, so here we are given that X is between -3 and -1. So we have written it down. Y is between -1 and 1. Now for X square minus Y square, what it should be. So we've just written it that the least value for X and the maximum for Y should be the range for this. So it should be -9 and 1.
Option D.
D
23.
is 0 and 9. X square minus Y square. 0 and 9.
ये माइनस से प्लस में हो जाता
हाँ
है ना।
ठीक है, हाँ 0 एंड 9 होगा क्योंकि स्क्वायर होगा, तो इसलिए ये यहाँ पे आई वाज आल्सो थिंकिंग कि -9, तो क्योंकि स्क्वायर है तो प्लस होगा, और 1 तो है ही, फिर 0 इसलिए हम लिख सकते हैं बिकॉज 1 इज अगेन नेक्स्ट टू 0, सो इट वुड बी डी. Then x and y, the natural numbers. Then 1 value नहीं हो सकती, and y is greater than x. So amongst all these options, which would have the largest number? So you can just assume any number, ensuring these two conditions, that the number should not be having the value 1 and y should be greater than x. So assumed 2 and 3 respectively. You can place the numerical values against each of the option. You will see x into y would be the largest value.
24 का A.
24A, ठीक है. Now we are given with this information कि there's a plan of an office block for 6 officers A, B, C, D, E, and F, and we are given with these conditions. So this is the entry point, this is the floor, this is the corridor as you move. Now I've tried placing the officers according to the information which is given. We have to now answer these two questions. So for 25, if E sits in his office and faces the corridor, whose office is to his left? So it should be C. C's office should be the immediate left of E.
Option C.
And for 26, who is F's immediate neighbor? So it is only A because F is occupying the corner position.
Option A.
Okay, now again a passage. So question 27, according to the passage, which of the following are the consequences of decline in forest cover? So just to have to ensure that whatever is mentioned in the passage, we have to choose that option only. So I went with 2, 3, and 4 because 1 is not clearly mentioned, although it is a consequence. But let's see what is the right option. 2, 3, 4 I've marked.
Option D.
D बोल रहा है, ठीक है. Then 28th, the correct inference that can be made from the passage. So only one, A option.
Option A.
Now, with reference to desertification as described in the passage, following assumptions have been made. So only 2 should be the right one.
Option D.
D, neither one.
Oh.
ठीक है, because it is stating invariably it leads to floods and desertification, all right. Now, another passage. So the reference to the passage, which of the following would assist us in coping with the climate change? 1, 2, and 4. Option B.
Option B.
Now, option here, this is incorrect because it is stating existing crop management practices, and that is excessively, or it is
That is option
excessively relying upon the monocropping method. That is why this is incorrect. Now, 31, following assumptions. So, in this case, it should be neither 1 nor 2.
2. Option C.
सी बोल रहे हैं, दोनों है. कैसे हो सकता है? ठीक है, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन ऑफ लाइवलीहुड्स एक्ट्स एज अ कोपिंग स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर द क्लाइमेट चेंज. बट ये बात नहीं कर रहा है ना डाइवर्सिफिकेशन लाइवलीहुड्स के बारे में. एग्रीकल्चर और ब्रीडिंग और कंजर्वेशन उन सब की बात कर रहा है, बट क्लियरली कहाँ बोल रहा है डाइवर्सिफिकेशन ऑफ लाइवलीहुड्स. फिर दूसरे में भी अडॉप्शन ऑफ मोनोक्रॉपिंग प्रैक्टिस लीड्स टू एक्सटिंक्शन ऑफ द प्लांट वेराइटीज एंड देयर वाइल्ड रिलेटिव्स. अब ये भी एक्सटिंक्शन वर्ड था, तो दैट इज व्हाई एलिमिनेटेड. ठीक है, बट ओके, मोस्ट लॉजिकल इन्फ्रेंस, सो इट शुड बी ऑप्शन सी.
Option C. 30.
32, option C. Then 33, author of the passage holds the view that leadership can be acquired as well as taught. Option B.
Option B.
Okay, 34. So we have a number consists of 3 digits, of which middle one is 0. So you can write this as in this form, and x and y, we have to get the value for these. Also, we are given that the sum is 4. It means x plus 0 plus y is giving us the value 4. So if the number formed by interchanging, now we are interchanging the digits x and y, and the number that we get is greater than the number itself by 198. So we can write it as reversing the number is greater than this original number by 198. So we get this equation, and we have to get what is the difference between the first and the last digit. Means we have to get the difference between x minus y. So how do we start? We are given with this condition, so we will see what are the possible options for these two letters, because sum has to be 4 and the middle one is already 0. So it can be 1 3 combination or 2 2 combination, because their sum gives us the value of 4, but 2 and 2 is invalid, because when you reverse, number would be exactly same, and we have to ensure this condition is also fulfilled. So it would be 0 in case if we take this combination.
34.
Now you
Option
can
B.
34 option B है. Now 1 and 3 के लिए when you place the values here in the code, so 103 का reverse would be 301, difference would be 198. So both the conditions are fulfilled, and difference between 1 3 would be 2. Now a solid cube of 3 centimeter side, painted on all its faces, cut into small cubes of 1 centimeter side. So how many small cubes have exactly 2 painted faces? So total number of small cubes would be 27, because 3 centimeter side hai, we are cutting it into 1 centimeter each cube. So 3 ka cube would be 27, and we have to get how many are there with 2 painted faces. So on each edge, if you see, these would be having 2 faces, because corner one के more than 2 हो जाएंगे, and that is not being asked. तो हर vertices पे you will see कि एक क्यूब निकलेगा, तो 12 vertices है तो 12 होना चाहिए.
Option C.
क्या what is the option? 35 का?
C. 35 का option A.
हाँ, ठीक है. और 34 का option B था ना?
Option B.
ठीक है.
34.
36 में अब we have to write from 700 to 1000. It is asking us कितने नंबर ऐसे हैं जिसमें 100 places greater than the digit at 10th place, and also ensuring कि 10th place पे जो digit है that is greater than the digit at units place. तो दोनों conditions fulfill होनी चाहिए. अब इसमें you can just write it down, क्योंकि इतने ज्यादा नंबर होंगे नहीं. 700 to 799 अगर आप देखते हो, तो यहाँ ये वाला नंबर बड़ा होना चाहिए at this 10th place, तो 7 is greater than 1. और जो 1 पे है, मतलब ये 10th पोजीशन वाला, शुड बी ग्रेटर देन एट यूनिट प्लेस, तो 1 इज ग्रेटर देन 0. तो आप देखोगे कि ये पॉसिबिलिटीज हो सकती है 700 to 799। अब सेम ये नंबर्स 800 to 900 में भी वैलिड होंगे। अब यहाँ पे आप देखोगे 765 पे हम रुके, अब 870 तक हम मूव कर सकते हैं। अगर यहाँ पे आप देखोगे 770 तो ये इक्वल हो गया 100 और 10 वाला, तो ये कंडीशन ब्रेक हो जाती है। सिमिलरली 900 to 1000 में ये नंबर भी वैलिड होंगे और ये सारे भी वैलिड होंगे, तो इसलिए यू डोंट हैव टू राइट देम अगेन। बस आगे आप और इसके नेक्स्ट जो मूव करोगे वो चेक कर लो कि हाउ मेनी नंबर्स कैन बी देयर। सो यू गेट total of 21 plus 28 plus 36 would give us 85 such numbers. So option C should be correct.
Option C.
Now we are given with this condition: pencil greater than pen, book greater than pencil, and book greater than cap. So which is going to be always true? So it would be option B, book is greater than pen.
Option B.
Now for 38th question, we are again given with that there's a bookseller, he sold a number of geography textbook, this is the price X. So total revenue, you just have to multiply the number of books sold at the price which is given to us. So geography के लिए we have written it down, history के लिए we are given again itna it has sold at this price, so we get the total revenue. Maths के लिए the same thing. It is asking us what is the total sale in rupees. So once you get these equations, we get three equations in the end. Total sale पूछा है तो you add these three equations together. Now you will see minus 2a और 2a cancel हो जाएगा, 2x और ये भी cancel हो जाएगा. Now 3ax, we are left with this, and 4 plus 4 8. So it should be option B. Divya, verify 38th answer.
Option B.
39th. Now we are given with a few balls, 15 red balls are given, 20 black balls are there, and each ball is numbered 1, 2 और 3, इनमें से एक नंबर हर बॉल को असाइन किया गया है। तो 20% द रेड बॉल्स दे आर नंबर्ड 1, 40% जो है दे आर नंबर्ड 3। सिमिलरली ब्लैक बॉल्स के लिए आप कैलकुलेट करोगे, सो वी हैव रिटन दिस डाउन है। तो 15 टोटल रेड बॉल्स है, 20% ऑफ 15 वुड बी 3 रेड बॉल्स, ये दे रखा है दे आर नंबर्ड 1। 40% of 15 red balls जो they're numbered 3, तो we get 40% of 15 is 6, and left is 15 में से 6 plus 3 would be 9, तो 15 minus 9 would be 6. 6 red balls बची, they would be number 2 क्योंकि 1 and 3 वाला information is already given. Similarly black balls के लिए you will calculate. Now in the end we have to get what is, like, a boy picks a ball at random and he wins if the ball is red and numbered 3, or if it is black and numbered either 1 or 2. So what are the chances of his winning? So जो likely events हमें दे रखा है कि red ball या तो 3 number होना चाहिए, black ball 2 number या 1 number, तो आप 9 plus 5 plus 6 करोगे, you'll get 20, and total balls कितनी है, 20 plus 15, 35. So it should be 4:7. Option B.
Option B.
Last question for the day. So two persons are there, A and B, they are running on a circular track. That's how we have represented it. At the start, B is ahead of A, and their position make an angle of 30 degree at the center of the circle. So they are making this angle. When A reaches the point diagrammatically opposite to the starting point. So if this was the starting point, when A reaches here, it meets B. What is the ratio of speed of A and B if they are running with uniform speed? So it means, since it is uniform speed, so we have to calculate ratio. Ratio would be directly the ratio of the angles covered by each of them. So A is, if it starts from here, it is reaching this position. So this is 180 degree would be covered by A. And B, if it is here, because B is already ahead of A and making an angle of 30 degrees. So when B and A, since they are meeting here, so it means B will cover 150 degree. How we calculated 150? 180 minus this 30, which is already given. So ratio 180 is to 150 will give us 6:5, option A.
Option A.
ठीक है. So thank you so much everyone for joining us on Ansarkari, and on next Sunday we will take up the second half of the paper, and till then you can solve all these questions. So thank you so much for joining us.